See the next paragraph. I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming, said the selfish giant, as he sat at the window and looked out at his cold white garden. I hope there will be a change in the weather. So this paragraph which I am reading is on page number 6, last paragraph. So what happened? You can see in the picture the giant. He was very worried. Why there is spring everywhere in the country, but in his garden it is still winter. But he could not understand the reason. See the next paragraph. But the spring never came, nor the summer. The autumn gave golden fruit to every garden, but to the giant's garden she gave none. He is too foolish, she said. So it was always winter there, and the north wind and the hail and the frost and the snow danced about through the trees. You underline the third line of this paragraph. He is too foolish, she said. Who said? The autumn. And the same paragraph, last line, the the north wind, hail and frost and snow danced about through the trees. So here personification is used in this paragraph. You can see these natural phenomena, they are behaving like human beings. So when some human quality is given to the non-living objects, it is called the personification. So what happened? When autumn came, all the other gardens were loaded with fruit, but in the giant's garden there remained only one season, that is winter. Now you see page number 7. One morning the giant was lying awake in bed when he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears that he thought it must be the king's musician passing by. It was really only a little linnet singing outside his window, but it was so long since he had heard a bird sing in his garden that it seemed to him to be the most beautiful music in the world. Then the hail stopped dancing over his head, and the north wind ceased roaring, and a delicious perfume came to him through the open casement. Casement means window. I believe the spring has come at last, said the giant, and he jumped out of bed and looked out. So what happened? When one day when the giant, he was lying in his bed, he heard a very sweet music. So he thought that this might be from some king's musicians. Some king's musicians are passing by. But actually what was it? It was a little bird, linnet. Linnet means singing bird. So now the giant was happy that the spring has come at last. So he jumped from his bed and he looked out, and what did he see? A very strange sight. He saw a most wonderful sight through a little hole in the wall. The children had crept in, and they were sitting in the branches of the trees. In every tree that he could see, there was a little child, and the trees were so glad to have the children back again that they had covered themselves with blossoms and were waving their arms gently above the children's heads. Birds were flying about and twittering with delight, and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. It was a lovely scene. So what happened? The children secretly entered the garden, little hole in the wall, And as soon as the children entered the garden, what happened with them? The spring came back. As they came back, they brought with them spring, flowers and birds, and the garden was beautiful again.